Welcome back, everyone, to River and Sea, where we have made it back to the East Fires after dealing with the Guaradine, and let's see if the people here are satisfied. Hello there.
How can I be of service?
It'll take me some time to study these pouches of poison, and if fortune is with us, we'll not need to use what I learned. Alright? And he also wants to know about wards. Oh yes, the guards.
How can I be of service?
Good, you've done exactly as I've asked. I hope the Guardine were not too much trouble. In any case, now we have what we need to begin setting our final plan into motion, which Erhil will describe to you. Alright. So then we head over to Erhil here. First of all, the relics I collected. I see you have returned with the relics of the Guaradite. Excellent! They're crude as I expected, but they also show me some more sinister signs. Some of the work is influenced by the customs of orcs and goblins. The relationship is distant, and perhaps they have no dealings with each other for some considerable time, but it does not bode well for the chances of coming to a reasoned understanding with them, I'm afraid. Lithuanian's tender temperaments aside, I fear that our next course of action may best be one of decisive action. Hopefully, he'll not be too upset with me. Well, considering that he asked me to thin their ranks, I don't think so. Oh, I get to select an option here. Let's see, anything. Alright, this is all different types of food. Okay, 278, 159. Alright, I'll take this. What else we need? Oh yes, hunting the hunters.
What can I do for you?
It seems that you fought well against the Guaradine, but from your descriptions of their savagery, I realize that they've been hasty and foolish myself. Oh, forgive me. I have fought a great many battles and lost many things that I have cared for and become something of a creature of habit. The way of the sword comes to my hand, and thoughts as readily as breathing, and I fear that it may not always be so. I've misjudged the Guaradine. They are feral and brutal perhaps, but unlike the craven orcs and goblins, it seems that they are yet unbowed and carry a great pride with them. They will not be cowed by such an assault. I'll consult with Lithuanian on this matter, for he is gentler and in his own manner a more clever elf than I am, and certainly his mind is less clouded by thoughts of glory long lost. We will speak again shortly when I have had more time to consider our next course of action. Okay? And tears of purity.
What do you need?
The water glowed lightly, then felt cool against your legs. I believe that means that it worked, and whatever damage may have been done by the Guaradine should fade from this lake. Well, I guess that's good news. Whee! And I'm just getting started here. Oh, level 39! I see pages coming into my future.
What can I do for you?
With those things done, it is now time to draw the line. Draw the line.
Mind my words, traveler.
Now then, as a warrior of some renown, I am all too accustomed to doing battle, and I always contend with and offer the threat of death. Against such means, foes as goblins and orcs, the threat itself is often sufficient to break their spirits and send them back into their darkness unless they have driven by powerful masters. But not so with the Guaradine. As Lithuanian has reminded me, men such as they, who are still free of spirit and pride, often place greater value upon the unseen and unfelt world than they do upon their own lives. The wards were the clue, and it is this that we shall play upon to keep their respective camps safely separated. You may have noticed a number of Guaradan markers along the shore of the river just north of here. Those marks the current boundaries of the Guaradan's territory, at least as they see it. But they do not in any way prevent me from crossing further into the stretch of forest. That we shall now change. I have changed the wards that you brought me and added a new flourishes. It will add these to the boundary markers. They will no longer represent mere territorial boundaries, but wards of doom to the Guaradine. A warning that any who cross put this way spirits of absolute peril. The Guaradine may not respect our swords and bows, but they will not lightly ignore this. All right. Oh, and over here.
Swillide Melon.
So you defeated the Guaradine? They began to scatter and flee? Good. They will think twice before returning to that place. Okay, so I think that takes care of everything except for the wards. Oh. Long bow.
Home, home. You are a hasty folk.
My roots taste fresh water once more. Home! For the first in long time. The even rills are purified. That should make them happy. So that takes care of everything except for the wards. So let's go. I remember seeing one of them earlier. I think I said something about it being later. Well, apparently later has just arrived. Mick Maidenhair. It has been many years since I last heard tell of a mariner of your skill, but even the most seasoned of us can be made a fool by the sea. If you wish to learn the finer techniques of the mariner, come and speak with me in Breetown, and that is Mick Maidenhair. All right, it's been many, right? Okay, and bring the letter to Mick Maidenhair in the Dwyer Ward in Breetown. Why in the world is the mariner trainer in Bree in the Dwyer Ward? I mean, that sounds like the least likely place to find him. I mean, it's not like dwarves are notorious for being mariners. At least not the Longbeard dwarves, and I presume the Longbeard dwarves are the one who hold that place. Well then, let's head on up and mark a few more of these wards. I think there's one down here, close to the... Is that a pond? River? Well, the Eve mirror. All right, it's a mirror. It's a mirror. All right, fine. There you go. Ah, yes, there is one down here. So that is one more handled. Soon, they'll be scared to come after us. Now, if these things represent a boundary, it sounds like to me that they're definitely trying to push those boundaries. Because I can see them in all different directions from here. Well, they won't push them any longer, I hope. The wards have been set.
Megavonen,
Well done, my friend. That should greatly reduce the threat of the Guaradine for the time being. That line of wards will neither prevent their crossing indefinitely, nor will it stop some of their most insistent or brave hunters from intruding, but I will deal with those as I must. What it will do is prevent open war from erupting between their tribe and those here in the Eve Spires, and that's enough for now. You have my deepest gratitude, and though I have no more tasks for you, you may wish to speak with Lithuanian or Longbow to see if either of them requires your aid. Alright? And it looks like Longbow does, but I think I am going to be making a little trip over to Bree first. Ah, here's the draw reward. Now, let's see if I can find this mariner. Now, if there's a mariner here in Bree, why didn't they send me to him when I did the level 15 quest? Maybe they should have sent me to him so I could know where there was a trainer at, so I could have bought my stuff, anything that I needed perhaps, and then I could have gone to Barleyman Butterbur from him. No! They sent me directly to Barleyman Butterbur in the letter. Whatever. Actually, is there anything here that a level 15 could have purchased? Like a crafted fiddle. That is, no, that's level 30. Pipe. Maybe the minimum level, no, because the duelist haversack was a level 15 item. So, a simple fiddle. Yes, that was, okay, that one was level 20. So perhaps that would have worked at all. But anyway, let's talk to him about this quest.
I have several books in my keeping that might be of use to a mariner such as yourself. Perhaps they will help you, as they have helped me over the years.
My letter. It's good to meet you at last, Pine Sea. Yes, that you didn't send for me at level 15. Well, anyways, yes, it is true enough that many lessons can be only learned upon the deck of a ship, but even so, there is much to be gained by studying the accounts of the great mariners of the world with your feet firmly planted on the ground. I have several books in my keeping that might be of use to a mariner such as yourself. Perhaps they will help you, as they have helped me over the years. If you wish to study them further, I'll offer them to you for a fair price, that you might need the knowledge that they contain when you least expect it. Alright. Let's see about these books. Oh no, that's... browse the shop. A guiding star. Alright. And we have the Art of the Duel. Okay, so a navigation book, a dueling book, and the Shanty Singer's Compendium. Right? A group of songs for... Alright, we get all these little deeds now to collect the pages. A Ring of the Wind. Ooh, that sounds like a nice thing to get at some point. The Art of the Duel is the Duelist Defender. Alright, that looks pretty nice. And where is the first one? Oh, a Guiding Star. Oh, the Star Whistle. Now this is something I want to check out. Is here's the Star Whistle. This is a minimum level 40 item. So that you get after completing this deed. Plus 10% finisher, plus 10 vitality, plus 2 swordplay defender buffs, plus 81 physical mastery rating. Now, how does that compare to this thing that I made? Plus 5% finishers. The Star Whistle is better than that. I'll have to crit to improve over that, I guess. But we'll see what happens if I ever make a crit version of that flute. But it looks like that if I get my pages quickly, I'll be using the Star Whistle. Well, alright. Anyway, I know something strange about these books, though.
Perhaps you think I have sold you a book unworthy of its price, but I disagree, for there is still much knowledge to be gained from it. Even in such an incomplete condition, it has served me well for many years.
If you somehow manage to find the missing pages, though, I would be most interested in learning what they have to say. All right. Yes. Speaking of missing pages, this book also seems to has a couple.
I have not sold you a worthless book, if that's what you think. Mick Maidenhair is no common thief. There is still much to be gained by studying it, even if it is short a few of its pages.
If you still don't believe me, then perhaps we should meet in a duel of weaponry and wits. Then you will see that I have learned more than enough from it. But it is not about that, is it? I understand, my friend. There is always more to be learned, after all. If you are able to find these missing pages, I would be curious to read them myself. Oh, once you're finished with them, of course. Of course. And I presume that I'll be really learn quite a bit if I find these other shanties that are missing.
Oh, they are? Oh, I knew that my copy was missing a few pages of the introduction and the historical accounts, but to be honest, I just thought that's how the shanties went. Well, that would explain a few things.
If you somehow are able to find the missing pages, I would be delighted to join you in the practicing of those shanties. Why, it'll be like learning whole new songs. Oh boy. Now, the real trick is I have to get to a place where those things are actually going to be available as drops. It appears that I'm done over at the East Spires for now, so I have come over here to Manarain in order to find out what the rangers over here need. Hello.
Might I take a moment of your time?
I'm glad to finally get some aid. We've been trying to do all that we can down here, but with every move we make, our enemies are already there waiting for us. I've discovered why, but we just don't have the numbers to do anything about it. Not long after you freed Rantost, several boats landed on the shore here. I watched a meeting between the newly arrived tomb robbers and the forces of Angmar. Afterward, the robbers headed out up into the hills, and the Angmar resumed their search. I can only fathom that an accord was struck. The tomb robbers would spy for Angmar and report on our movements from above. In return, Angmar would give the robbers any relics that they find in the city that they don't want. If we are to move forward into the way of the kings, the ancient burial grounds of our ancestors' rulers, our actions must be shrouded to the enemy. For that to happen, we must empty the hills and claim them for ourselves. So I have all of these quests to scout and aid them with various other items. Well, how about you?
Stay a moment.
Stay a moment, for I would speak with you. My people are much concerned with the protection of the ancient Dunedain heritage of Numinous and the surrounding lands, but we're stretched thin. We have, on occasion, hired some of the more adventurous folk of Ostfarod to the northeast to help protect with the old manors and crypts from despoiling. One such worthy, a man named Alfred Whitley, keeps watch over some of the tombs of Manarain. If you would, please take these supplies to him. Return to the mainland and follow the shore road north of here, east into Manarain. Shortly after reaching the place, the burial ground for many of the ancient kings of our people, you will see steps carved into the hillside. Climb those steps to Alfred Whitley's camp. He has been away for some time and is surely running short on provisions. Return to me when you have given him these supplies, and I'll reward you for your trouble. All right, I shall do so. Yeah. Actually, let's go and take care of breakfast first. Then we could talk to the other rangers about the various quests that they need. If this is the place, then the presence of a Caragrim isn't exactly what I would call an auspicious occasion. Albert Whitley is missing, but you see a journal amongst his things. I also see blood. I don't like the looks of that. See the journal. Collect the journal. Alright. Bring the supplies and the journal back to the camp. Alright. Now what exactly is in this journal? 17th September. And so at last I return, for the first time, to my ancestral home near Anuminus. My lineage lived long in our ancient manor, and it's a necessary and proper thing that the children of the Dunedain come at least once to their olden homes. 19th September. I stopped at Tinadir to pay my respects to Calinglad. He warned me that the region grows even more lawless, and that grave robbers and brigands are a constant threat. It is hard for me to believe that we have fallen so low that we must truly beware of such things. But I place my faith in Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and trust that he will restore our ancient glory. 20 September. In truth, this is a strange land. I had wished to feel welcome in these old lands of ours, but there are uncanny things abroad, strange lights floating in the mirror, unnatural snakes, and worse. Last night I thought I heard wargs howling in the distance. When the kingdom is restored, these things will change. I swear it. 21 September. I'm sure now that I'm being stalked, but not by evil beasts, but by men. I hope to take a numinous tomorrow. Oh, to make a numinous tomorrow, though, and surely the Watcher and I will be able to hold off any number of mere brigands and robbers. Alright. We'll have to see. Here's a journal I found.
What can I do for you?
You found a journal? Allow me to read it, and perhaps it will shed some light upon his fate. This is terrible news. I must now believe that not only Whitley, but my kinsman Eronthrenar as well, were attacked and slain by tomb robbers, but now lie in shallow graves. Aha! Okay, so that was written by Eronthrenar.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Alas, that a kinsman and loyal friend should come to an end, and of the lives of the ancestral lands of the Dunedain. Alfred Whitley was a good sort, and many of the men that live now in Ostfarode are of that kind, honest and dependable. And yet, there are some in Ostfarode who stoop to scavenging and robbing the unguarded ruins of the Evendem. But to slay one of their kinsmen? That is treachery most foul, Pinesea. I ask that you warn some of the other watchmen of this danger. Sid Waring is a friend of the Dunedain and keeps watch from this very campsite. Well then, he will certainly be easy to find.
Why are you bothering me?
And who are you? Oh, you come from Helgir then? A bit late, friend, but perhaps not too late. I was just attacked by men I know not far from here, neighbors out of Ostfarode, who have been driven to evil under the orders of Brachin the Bold. There were men I grew up with, kin even, mad from the wealth that they say lies hidden in these ruins. The robbers have attacked me and fear no reprisal. You can hear them even now digging away in the island just over there. Teach them a lesson, friend, and recover some of the relics that they stole. They may have carried some of the relics to another island camp a bit more to the south. Go to their camps here in Manadine, recover the stolen relics, and bring them back to Helahir. Tell them that at least Sid Waring has not forgotten his loyalty, or the oaths that he swore. Well, will we be able to find all that? And what about the quests from the other rangers? We have to find that out in the next episode of River and Sea.